Welcome back everyone. My name is Sagar and in this video we will be learning everything about inheritance in Java. So what do you mean by inheritance? So inheritance means that we are inheriting the properties of our parent, right? So either they can be their facial expression or their mindset or any other function that they are doing, right? So so this is the this is the exact same thing in our programming. So we have one class and we can just inherit the properties of another class, and the class that we are extending is called as our parent class, and the class that is inheriting the properties will be our child class, or you can also say it as subclass or derived class, and this will be also your base class. Okay, so let me just show you an example. So suppose I am creating a class animal, and this will be our parent class. So what is the properties of one animal? It can walk, it can eat. So not all animals can walk, right? So first of all, let me just create a function for eating. So eating, so every animal eats, right? And let me just write here, so animal is eating. So this is our animal class and this is the function of animal. Okay, and now we have to create a subclass, that means our children class, that will be extending the properties of animal. So what is a kind of animal? A dog is a kind of animal. Dog, so dog will extend the properties of animal. So using this extends keyword, we can just extend the properties of some another class. So extend means that we are extending the properties or any function that this class have. So this animal will be now our parent class or base class, and this dog is our derived class, or you can say subclass or children class. So we can just now extend the properties of this animal class, and that is here this eating. So what a dog can do? So a dog can also have extra properties like it can bark. So like this. So I will just print here, dog is barking, and after that we have to override this property. So overriding is a part of our inheritance, and overriding means that we can just override this function. So what I can do is I can just use this annotation override, and after that I can just use this void eating, and that's it. So okay, first of all let me just show you that we can still access this method from our dog class. So let me just create an object of this dog class. So here I am creating an object of my dog class, and after that I am here extending this animal class. So using this dog class, I can just access these two methods, that is here eating, and that is the method of our parent class, animal class. Okay, and I can also access this method because that is obviously the method of our dog class. So let me just show you, dog dot bark and also dog dot eat. So you can just see we are accessing these both methods, and that is because we are extending this animal class, and if we are not, then you can just see we are not able to access this eating method. So that's how you can just access the properties of your parent class. So animal is the parent of dog, and let me just try. So it will just print, it will print dog is barking and animal is eating. So after that, now let me just show you, you can also create this eating method inside of this dog class. So if you are doing this void eating, and after that you are doing this dog is eating. So using this, so first of all, if I am calling this method dog dot eating, so I will just call this method, and if this method is not present in our dog class, then I will just call this eating method. So I hope now you understand this thing. If I am using this dog object, then first of all I will check whether this method is present in my dog class or not, and if this method is not present, then I will check the parent class. So then I will check this animal class, and I can now see that eating method is present in my animal class. So first I was calling the method animal is eating, and now I created a method here this void eating, and after that dog is eating. So let me just use here annotation, that is here override. So we will also learn about what is this annotation and why you have to use them. This is not necessary, but it is a better understanding to use this thing, because here now you will know that this eating method is also present in our parent class, and that is your animal class. So override means that there is a method present in our parent class and we are overriding the property, so we are rewriting it. Okay, so you will just see that first we will print dog is barking and then dog is eating, because we are overriding this method here. Eating method is overridden here. Okay, So this is called as function overriding or method overriding. You can just say anything. So you can just see our output here. And after that, there is also special keyword here, super. And using this super method, we can just access the any properties of our parent class. So super dot, suppose I want to access this eating method. So first of all, I will just print, if I'm calling this eating method of this dog class, then first of all, I will just print animal is eating and then dog is eating. So I will just tell you how the flow goes. So if I'm commenting this thing and I'm calling dog dot eating, so the compiler will check that eating method should be present in our dog class, and you can just see eating method is present here. And here inside this eating method, first of all, I am calling super dot eating, and if I am extending any class, so only then I can use this keyword super. So super means I am accessing the parent class. So super dot eating, that means I am accessing the method of eating method of this animal class. So I will print this, and after that dog is eating. So first animal is eating and then dog is eating. So I hope now you understand the flow. Here you can see. So after this, don't worry, there are a lot of important keywords in Java, and we will also understand all of them. I will just make a dedicated video for all these important keywords, okay? So I hope now you understand what is this inheritance, and this is our single level inheritance, and that is because we have one class and it is only extending our parent class. So there is only one level of inheritance. Suppose you are the children class and you are extending the properties of your parent, and this is one level inheritance. This is single level inheritance. And suppose you also have your grandparent, so that will be called as multi-level inheritance. So suppose this animal class is also extending some another class. Let me just create here living beings. So animal is also a living being. So let me just extend this. Extends this living being class, okay? And after that, I will just create here a method that living, okay? So this is called as now multi-level inheritance, because dog class is extending our animal class and animal class is extending living being class, okay? So let me just write here living being. So here now you can see this dog is extending the properties of animal. So that means this dog can access eating, and a dog is also a living being, right? So that means dog is an animal and animal is a living being. So indirectly that also says dog is also a living being, okay? So that means dog can also access the properties of or any function of this living being class. So let me just write here int, let me just write here birth date, because every living being take birth or also die. So let me also create here death date, okay? So now this dog class can also access the properties of this living being class, and it can just access this birth date and that date. So let me just call it here. So my dog dot live date, you can just see birth date equal to, suppose I'm writing here 0 and death date is 1. So here you can see I am just accessing the properties using this dog class, and I am accessing the properties of this living being class. So this is now called as multi-level inheritance, because you can just see this is our level 0, and after that this is level 1, then this is level 2. So this is multi-level inheritance, and you can just make the flow. You can also create here more levels. Suppose you are creating one more class and this living being class is extending that. So this was our third type of inheritance. Let me just write here single level, and after that we have multi-level, and after that we have here hierarchical. I hope the spelling is correct. Okay, so hierarchical. So this hierarchical means that there is one parent class and there are multiple derived classes. That means there are multiple children. So suppose this is our parent class, this living being is our parent class, and after that this animal is a children of this living being class, and after that there is our multi-level. So what you can do is you can just create another class here. Suppose plants. So plant is also a living being. So I will just extend here living being class, and after that let me just create here a method void. What can be the function of a plant? It can just take sunlight. I hope this is a good enough method. So what he will do, so I will just print here sunlight, okay? So now this is called as our hierarchical inheritance. So first of all, So first of all, what is the flow here? So this is our parent class, and there are multiple derived classes from this parent class. So first of all, this is our first class that is derived from our living being class, and this is our second class that is derived from our living being class. So this living being class have multiple children, and that is basically our hierarchical inheritance. So here I can just create an object of this plant class, and now I can access it. So my plant equal to, so using this constructor, if you don't know about constructor, go watch out our previous videos. And here using this plant object, I can just access this living being method. Okay, so this is the example of our single level inheritance, because this is our level 0 and this is our level 1. And if we are talking about this whole program, so this is called as our hybrid inheritance. And that means here you can see, first of all, this is our parent class, so this is at the top, and after that we have two children. Okay, so this is plant class, this is our animal class, and after that we have sub children of this animal class. So there can be a dog, there can be also a cat. So this is called as hybrid inheritance, and that is, you can just see, this is the mix of all these three or some of them. So you can just write here hybrid inheritance. So now let me just show you the flow here. So first of all, we have our living being class, and that is the parent of another classes, living being. And after that, there are two children classes, that is here plant class, and one more here, that is our animal class, animal. And now this animal class and this plant class is extending the properties of this living being class. Okay, so in only this example, you can see we have one parent class and two children classes. So here this is the example of our hierarchical inheritance. And after that, there is also one more class, that is your dog class, which is extending the properties of animal class. So only on this level, you can just see this is our single level inheritance. But if you are seeing this thing, that this dog is extending the properties of animal class and animal is extending the properties of living being class, so this is called as multi-level inheritance. I hope now you understand this thing. And if we are observing this whole thing, then you can just see there is a single level inheritance, there is a multi-level inheritance, and there is also hierarchical inheritance. And that means this is just an example of hybrid inheritance. So I hope now you understand the flow here. And after this example, let me just show you one more type, and that is here multiple inheritance. And this is not supported by Java language. I think it is supported by C++, but not here in Java, and that is because of our diamond problem. So it is a very famous problem in Java, and there is a very high chance that you will just face this problem in your interviews. So what is this multiple inheritance and what is this diamond problem? Let me also write it here. So we just learnt about this single level and this multi-level. That means there is one parent class and one children class. And after that, we learnt about this hierarchical. That means one parent class and two children classes. All right. And after that, what is this multiple inheritance? That means there is one children class and there are multiple parents. So this thing is not possible in Java. So that means we using this one class, we just cannot extend our two classes. So suppose this dog is also a living being, and we know that dog is also animal. So we cannot do this thing, living being. So this is not valid thing in our Java, and we just cannot extend two classes. So let me just show you the reason here, and that is because of diamond problem. So suppose this example, so suppose this is our living being class, and this is our plant class, and this is our animal class. So here this plant class is extending our living being, and this animal is also extending living being, and this is now something looks like a diamond here, and that is the diamond problem here. So let me just show you. So let me just create an example here. So suppose there is one being that is also considered as a plant and as well as an animal, and I don't think that one exists. So let me just write here some example. Suppose doggy plant, and this should now extend animal and as well as properties of plant class. And now we are going to face our diamond problem. So let me just make here the flow. So first of all, our living being class. Okay, let me just show you in the previous one. So here this. So now let me erase this, and this is now our doggy plant. So suppose there is some special being that is considered as a plant and as well as an animal. So first of all, let me just show you if this thing is already not possible, and that will just show you compilation error. And suppose you are doing this thing. So suppose there is this being that have the properties of this plant class and as well as animal class. So you will just face here this diamond problem, and that is because, so first of all, let me just create a eating method here, and suppose this plant also have this eating method. So this should be plant class. So let me just write here this and also here. So first of all, there is this eating method in our plant class, and that is the children of our living being. So there is a eat method in our plant class, okay, and there is also eat method in our living being class, in our animal class. So there is eat method in our animal class, and they both are extending our living being class, okay. So what will happen if we are extending this class from this plant and this animal, and if we are creating here eat method? So what will happen? Let me just write here, okay, this thing. So in this doggy plant class, we are extending this eating method, and now we know that we are overriding this method, but from which class? Either we have to extend it from this class, either we have to override the function of plant class, or from this animal class. So what will happen? So our compiler will just get confused. So for this eating method and as well as the cases like this, so our compiler will just get confused whether the compiler have to override the method of this plant class or this animal class. So when the parent classes have multiple same fields, or we can say functions, so we will just face this problem, and this will just break our code. So that is why Java just make this precaution, and Java noticed this thing, that there can be a possibility that the parent classes can have same method, and we just cannot do this thing with our children method, with our children class. So our compiler here don't know which method to override, either this one or this one. So that is why Java by default don't allow this thing, that using one class we just cannot extend two classes, and this thing is indirectly possible using interfaces. So we will also learn about that, but here using this. So here you can see this is giving us a compilation error, and that is because it is not possible. It is not a legal thing to do in Java, so we just cannot do this thing, and there is nothing like this doggy plant exist, okay. So now we are just extending our one class, and if we are overriding something, then that means this method should be present in our animal class. And let me just see. So you can see this method is present here, and also if you want to override this method, so suppose I want to override this method, override living method, okay, it is a live, and after that I can just override it, and I can just write something by myself, animal is living. So if I am calling this live method from my dog class, so first of all it will check either this live method is present in my dog class. So you can see our live method is not present in our dog class. So what our compiler will do, it will just check the immediate parent, and that is their animal. So live method is present here, so we will just do this thing, and we will not reach this live method of living being class. So let me just show you here, and if I am doing this, let me just print my dog dot live. So it will just print here animal is living. I hope this will print animal is living. Okay, so this is a void method, so we don't have to print it here. So now let me just run this. So it will just print me animal is living, and that is because this method is present in animal class and we are overriding it, and you can see. And if this method is not present, then we will just reach our living being class, and we will just do this thing living. So let me just check here. So I hope now you understand this flow, that if there is a method present in our immediate parent, then we will just reach that. So that is it for this video, and I hope everything is covered. So this is our diamond problem, and we can just solve this thing using our interfaces. So if you understand this concept clearly, then do let us know in the comment section. And if you like this video, then also subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to follow our Java plus DSA complete series. So thank you for watching.